What if Mazda took one of its best-looking small SUVs, added a next-generation hybrid powertrain? That could be the recipe for the 2027 Mazda CX-30 Hybrid. The CX-30 has always occupied an interesting position in Mazda's lineup. It's smaller and easier to maneuver than the CX-5, more practical than a Mazda 3 hatchback, and much more focused on driving enjoyment than many of the small crossovers competing against it. So today, we're looking at what such a vehicle could realistically bring to the market based on Mazda's current direction, existing CX-30 design, and the company's confirmed electrification plans. Let's take a closer look. Starting with the exterior, don't expect Mazda to completely reinvent the CX-30. Mazda has built a recognizable design language around smooth surfaces, a long hood, a low roofline, and carefully sculpted bodywork. The front end could receive subtle changes. We could see a redesigned grille, slimmer lighting elements, revised bumper details, and perhaps a more aerodynamic lower section. Instead, Mazda would probably want the CX-30 Hybrid to look like a normal Mazda first and a hybrid second. The side profile would likely remain one of the CX-30's biggest strengths. The high shoulder line, relatively compact dimensions, muscular wheel arches, and sloping roof give the CX-30 a sporty appearance without turning it into an impractical coupe SUV. For a hypothetical 2027 model, Mazda could introduce new wheel designs optimized for aerodynamic efficiency. At the rear, expect similarly subtle changes. A revised bumper, updated LED taillights, and perhaps hybrid-specific badging could distinguish the electrified model. But don't expect enormous hybrid lettering everywhere. And that could make the CX-30 Hybrid one of those vehicles that looks expensive without trying too hard. Now let's step inside. The cabin has a more mature design than you might expect from a small crossover. Rather than filling every surface with screens, Mazda has generally focused on creating a driver-oriented environment with physical controls, high-quality materials, and a clean dashboard layout. A 2027 CX-30 Hybrid could take that philosophy into a new generation. We could see a larger central display, an updated infotainment system, improved smartphone connectivity, wireless charging, USB-C ports, and a more advanced digital instrument cluster. The steering wheel would probably retain dedicated buttons. And the infotainment controls could continue using a physical interface rather than forcing the driver to reach toward the screen for every function. That could give the CX-30 Hybrid a very different personality from some of its competitors. Because this is still a relatively small crossover, Mazda can't magically create the rear seat room of a larger SUV without increasing the vehicle's dimensions. The hybrid system could also take up some packaging space depending on where Mazda places the battery. Now we get to the most exciting part. Again, Mazda has not confirmed a CX-30 hybrid powertrain. Mazda has announced development of a new 4-cylinder engine family called Skyactiv Z, designed to replace existing Skyactiv G and Skyactiv X 4-cylinder engines, with launch timing beginning around 2027. Mazda says the technology focuses heavily on combustion efficiency and emissions performance. And Mazda has also confirmed an in-house hybrid system for the next-generation CX-5 arriving as a 2027 model. The electric motor could provide instant torque when you press the accelerator. That would potentially make the CX-30 feel quicker around town, even if its peak horsepower figure wasn't dramatically higher than the gasoline model. Now let's talk about the question everyone wants answered. How much could the 2027 Mazda CX-30 Hybrid cost? For context, Mazda's 2026 CX-30 starts at $25,975 MSRP in the United States before destination and other fees. A hybrid version would almost certainly cost more. A reasonable hypothetical starting point could therefore be somewhere around the upper $$20,000s to low $$30,000s, depending on the hybrid system, equipment, and market. Higher trims could potentially move into the mid $$30,000 range. But pricing will ultimately depend on Mazda's production strategy and whether the vehicle uses a new generation in-house hybrid system or another approach. So there you have it, the 2027 Mazda CX-30 Hybrid. A model that Mazda hasn't officially confirmed yet, but one that becomes increasingly interesting when you look at the company's next-generation engine and hybrid strategy. But until Mazda officially reveals the vehicle, take the specifications, horsepower estimates, design predictions, and pricing discussed in this video as educated expectations rather than confirmed facts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this look at the future of Mazda, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next automotive update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.